All right.
You're all
Apologies
set, Chairperson.
yes, apologies for any background noise as I am at school. Okay. This meeting is taking place entirely by teleconference via Zoom, the public accessing the meeting via the Santa Ana YouTube channel or the city's website. The commissioners and I, along with executive director, recording secretary, and city staff are in different locations. Please bear with us as the technology may disrupt the flow of the meeting. Good afternoon, everybody. I would like to call the December 1st, 2021 Youth Commission special meeting to order at 4:35. Will the recording secretary please roll call?
Thank you, Chairperson Verdin. Commissioner Cabrera. Commissioner Sarmiento.
Here.
Commissioner Relas.
Here.
Commissioner Tucker.
Here.
Commissioner Weezer.
Here.
And Commissioner Verdin.
Here.
You have a quorum, Chairperson.
All right. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. Okay. We pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, for liberty and justice for all. Okay, you may now be seated if you stood up. Next on the agenda is time for public comments. Recording secretary, does anyone wish to speak?
Chairperson Verdin, at this point in time, we do not have any public comments.
Okay, very well then. Next on the agenda is the consent calendar. Item 1 is minutes of the special meeting of November 3rd, 2021. Do we have a motion to approve the minutes of November 3rd, 2021 special meeting? Would anyone like to motion to approve?
I would like to motion.
I second that.
All right, perfect. Okay. Item 2 is excused absences. Recording secretary, do we have any excused absences that need approval?
Chairperson Verdin, there really isn't. We did have Commissioner Cabrera a little while ago. We have seemed to have lost her. She might be having some issues with her connection, but at this point in time, we do not have any absences except for Commissioner Cabrera, which we hope she comes back on site here.
Yeah, she's probably just having Wi-Fi issues. Okay, so we'll just leave it at that, and because I don't think it counts as an absence. Is that okay?
Chairperson Verdin, that's fine. I just if we can just have a first and a second on that, and then I will do a roll call.
Okay.
I second that.
Okay. That was 2 motions. So
I'm sorry, Chairperson Verdin, I got a motion from Commissioner Tucker. Is that correct? She's the first?
I believe so.
And then did we get a second?
I second.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Okay, perfect. That is the end of the consent calendar. Moving on, moving on to the business calendar. Today we have 1 item listed on the agenda. I will turn this over to Youth Commission Liaison Juan Lara for item 3, which is the Youth Commission work plan.
Good evening, commissioners, and good to see you all. So again, as you received in your packet, we have provided you with the latest copy of the work plan that you approved at your commission meeting of November 3rd. The plan for today's meeting is for you guys to then also continue to develop, concepts and ideas for you to incorporate onto this work plan. obviously the staff recommendation is that you come up with goals or objectives that you can accomplish within the coming year, so that that way by the end of what would constitute your school year, you would have a viable presentation for the mayor and council at a meeting sometime in early summer. So having said that, again, you did approve the content of the work plan as it currently stands, and now you have the opportunity to add to it. So for the time being, are there any ideas or suggestions as to either any community outreach activities that you would like to perform as a commission, as well as any special projects that you'd like to take on? And again, keeping in mind that you want to make them feasibly attainable, so then they can be incorporated as part of your presentation at the end of your school calendar year.
What are some of the activities that we would be able to add to this to the work plan? Like, what is considered feasible under just everything?
Well, again, this is pretty much open for your ideas and suggestions. And, as staff, we can then provide you with our feedback as to whether or not that's something that would be manageable and doable in the time frame that you have, to then make sure that it's successfully completed. So we can take that approach. Obviously, you are the youth commission, and you need to take into consideration all the needs that the youth citywide may have. And so anything that you work towards should be focused or centered around meeting some of those needs. But obviously, you're not limited to just focusing on serving, or providing programs and activities for the youth, because at the end of the day, everyone benefits. So there might be an interest on your part for doing something specific to seniors. Our seniors could also use some support. So you could either come up with something that would be just exclusively for seniors, or you could come up with an idea or a concept that would be in the realm of an intergenerational activity, and that again being youth working directly with the seniors, maybe putting together a technology workshop where you guys take on the responsibility of teaching them how to use their technology devices, cell phones, iPads, and anything else they might be able to bring to this technology seminar, something along those lines. If you come up with an idea of something that we're already doing, then we can also let you know that. For example, let's say that you came up with the idea of putting together excursions for teens. Well, we would remind you that we're already doing that as an agency, but obviously, anything that you can do to improve what's already happening, that's also welcomed and doable, and you can include that as part of your work plan. Did that more or less kind of answer your question, or gave you some idea as to, how to approach this project, this task?
Yes, thank you. That perfectly answered my question. I'll pass it on to anyone else that has any suggestions or questions for now.
Can I add some ideas?
Absolutely.
Maybe we could create a program like to help high schoolers in general make like how to do taxes and all that stuff, how to file taxes in their coming future, because once they're 18 they might not know how to do it, and they have no support. Maybe you get me, something like that.
So and let me try and phrase that in a different way. So I'm thinking you're talking about maybe coming up with a financial literacy type of workshop for youth. Okay, sure. That's a viable option, and that can be part of your special projects. So develop and again, that can happen in person, if you want to have it at a facility, or you can maybe eventually just organize it that it's all done online, to make it easy and accessible for everyone. But that's something that we can definitely do. As you're speaking, I'm going to go ahead and start including some of your ideas on the document itself. So go ahead and, continue to come up with ideas. And once we're more or less done with, most of your suggestions, we'll go ahead and make sure that we narrow them down. Because again, you also don't want to put a little too much here, taking into consideration, again, the time that you have to work on all of these projects. Okay, but financial leadership, financial literacy workshop for youth. Anything else?
Have there been any projects like that past youth commissions have done that have been like really successful and helpful?
Absolutely. Let me give you some ideas. There was a campaign for a while the previous youth commission set up, which was to educate people in simply keeping our city clean. So what they came up with is these trash can toppers that could either resemble like a little basketball hoop or like the head of a dragon or something. And that was just to motivate people to, rather than just dumping their trash wherever they were standing, to take the extra steps and the initiative to get to the trash can and place their trash in the receptacle. That was a relatively successful project in the past. There was a free of tobacco education campaign that they took on some years ago as well. They also took on some projects in care package writings for active military service people. So they took that on. And again, that's in youth serving their community type of concepts. So off the top of my head, those are the projects that I know that youth were very excited about, that had a benefit to the community, and again, they had a relative success, in their implementation.
Thank you.
So any other questions or ideas?
I have an idea of what we can do. We can do like study groups for students like on weekends, or like we can do life skills for people who are moving away to new, I would say for college, or who are planning on moving out. We can teach like life skills like cooking, like taxes, like organization tips we can prepare them better for the real world other than high school.
Okay, so personal development in essence.
Yeah, personal development.
Okay.
And then for the people that like you're still in high school or need a little extra help, like on weekends, we can do like a study groups at like a park, study groups. Like if you just like bring what you need that you need help with, and then somebody it's just help each other out. Just so we can build relationships and help each other improve ourselves.
Okay, so
and we could have like designated tutors and stuff like that, right? Yeah, that'd be.
Okay, and I'm sorry, Commissioner Weezer, really quick. Would you be comfortable then in us labeling your idea as personal development and tutoring programs? And again, we don't need to necessarily get into the weeds of things right now. Obviously, these concepts are relatively broad, but once you do adopt them as part of your work plan, then that's when we figure out how we can make these happen. Keep in mind, a lot of the workload on this will fall on you guys. We'll provide as much support and guidance as we can, but the heavy lifting will fall on you as commissioners. So that I also did want to advise you on that to make sure that you take that into consideration, given all the other commitments and responsibilities that you'll have as teenagers. Okay. So, but again, Commissioner Weezer, or should I say Vice Chair Weezer, are you comfortable with the title for that special project?
Yes.
Okay. Any other suggestions?
Yes, I have an idea. It's more for the community. I was thinking, since it's getting closer to the holidays, people who maybe are in homeless shelters or orphanages, it's getting colder. Maybe we could do any type of fundraising that we can think of, like bakeries, selling things to schools to raise money to buy any supplies that they need, since, it's getting colder since winter is here.
Okay, so let's say identify funding opportunities or funding sources for to support. And you mentioned, and I'm sorry, you mentioned, families or individuals that are currently homeless.
Yes, homeless shelters or orphanages.
Got it. Okay, so let me try and work that in. Identify funding sources to support, individuals, to support homeless shelters. Shelters. Yes. Okay, so again, and I'm just putting this in a very broad context so that once you take that on that project, you can drill down and figure out a best way to make that happen. So, but Commissioner Tucker, I'm labeling this idea as identifying funding sources to support homeless shelters and orphanages. Are you comfortable with that?
Yes.
Perfect. Okay. And again, that might be a special project or a community outreach opportunity. So as we work on this and fine tune it, we'll make sure that everything aligns with the correct category. Any other ideas? And I'm sorry, go ahead.
Adding to Commissioner Tucker, I think we could also include like families in need, like not just like homeless shelters or orphanages. I think like some people in Santa Ana, they usually how they host like food drives for Thanksgiving. We could do something similar to that, like for December overall, like a holiday maybe, like just something so like families could feel special, I guess, for the holidays.
Sure. So I'm just adding that onto the existing idea. So now it reads, identifying funding sources to support homeless shelters, orphanages, and families in need.
Yeah.
Okay. Perfect. Anything else?
I recently went to like like kind of pop-up farmers market, and whilst that was happening, they were giving a seminar to young children about like nutritious food choices and like why it's important to eat your vegetables. I think that could be really helpful to our community.
Great idea, Commissioner Sarmiento. So allow me to offer a suggestion. In case you are not familiar, the city has 5 community gardens throughout the city, and where rather than working with a farmers market, we can utilize a resource already in our city and then build on your concept. So and that can be part of your community outreach. So promote healthy eating and healthy lifestyle to the existing community garden program. Is that okay?
Yes.
Healthy options of the community garden program. All right, and maybe I should share my document to just so you'll see that I'm working on it. Let me see if I'm able to do that. Recording secretary or Mr. Uribe, do I have sharing privileges?
Affirmative, yes, you do.
Okay, 1 second. Okay, are you all able to see the document now?
Yes.
Perfect. Okay, so Commissioner Sarmiento, your suggestion is item number 3. So promote healthy options via community garden program. That work? Okay.
Yes.
All right. Well, this is filling up rather quickly, and you guys are doing great. And before we move on, I also just want to remind you, this is a living document. So you are always welcome to, add to it, to change, things within it, or to remove projects as, you best see fit. So don't feel like once it's in this document, you're committed to making it happen. Again, this is why this is called a work plan. It's a plan to guide, your efforts in serving the youth and the community at large in our city. Okay. All right, so any other suggestions?
I don't know how we can work this in, but like some supporting small businesses, because sometimes small businesses, they can't get their products out. So I think by supporting small businesses, we can get more information to like helping smaller people and then help them raise their platform. I don't know how we can fit that in, but we can, like with Commissioner Sarmiento's idea, like for farmers market, we can have smaller businesses help, like, I don't know, like, so like give ideas, give like the products, like help them, because majority of them, they have like, they're not getting as much as they should.
Okay, and it's a great concept. So we're putting it for now as item number 4 on your work plan. And so I just went ahead and labeled it as promoting shopping local or small business campaigns. Would that work? Yeah, okay.
Yes.
Great.
Thank you.
Excellent. All right. Anything else? If not, we can start working on the other sections of the plan, just to again get a leg up by establishing which members will be involved. If there's any of you specifically that would want to take on specific tasks, as well as a timeline, meaning prioritizing these items on your work plan, so then you begin to really start tackling them one at a time. So any other suggestions, or should we move on to the other portions of the work plan?
I actually have a suggestion.
Go ahead.
I believe that we should really try to work to see if we can have like the youth of the city, or really just artists, anybody in the community, that we can have some sort of showcase or contest. I know that we do have a few art contests already, but what is it? I feel like a lot of people feel intimidated by certain contests, but if there was some sort of showcase or contest or just anything where artists or youth artists, they could just like create their work and have it just be displayed, like, or they could earn community service hours for just whatever work that they have. Sorry, I'm losing my train of thought. But just something like that. We could also, because I know that the school district already does certain what is it, events such as Boca de Oro, but we could also collaborate with them and or have it some other time of year, just so that there's just you don't feel like you had to wait around as much, so also another separate idea would be having, because obviously as youth, most of us are in high school and we need community service hours to graduate. I believe that's the district's call. And many people like struggle to figure out how we can have gain community hours. So, and another problem that teens have simultaneously is wanting to collaborate with they want to get more involved in their community. So maybe a problem solving a solution to that problem would be having not an excursion program, but a volunteer program that we can collaborate with the school district and the the school district and like local shelters, or like just any type of community work, whether it be just picking up trash or cleaning up graffiti and all that, or just wellness, like promotion of health wellness, like giving out flyers for like that has information on it, just like almost like miscellaneous things. And then what we do is we collaborate with the school district to give those students community service hours. So one, they have their first problem solved, and then they feel like, well, they do get more involved in their community.
Excellent. Okay, so I went ahead and added both. The first one is item number 5, where, as a commission, you would work to promote volunteer and community service opportunities. Now, you said specific to youth, or would this be in general?
I feel like it should be more catered towards youth, but since they're the ones getting the community service hours, if that's something that we can like, uh, collaborate with the school district on. But the whole opportunity would be open to everybody, just the community in general, because it's not just a youth problem where some adults are like, they want to be more committed to helping out their community. And it's not like you could just Google, how can I be involved to my community? No, there's actual action there if there's like some sort of program for that.
Understood. So again, that would be item number 5 for now on your work plan, and it reads promote volunteer community service opportunities for youth. Then followed by your other suggestion, and that's item number 9, which is to develop youth arts programs. Would that work?
Sorry, I was on mute. Yes, that would work wonderfully.
Excellent. Okay, well, for now, and again, I think this is an amazing starting point. And I reiterate, this is a working document, so it does not fully commit you to anything, but in the meantime, if we can shift over to assigning who will be working on this, and most importantly, when would you want to accomplish some of these goals by, so that then we take that into consideration in determining whether or not there'll be a fiscal impact. And by fiscal impact, we are talking about any costs associated with these ideas or programs. And then eventually, obviously, as they are, coming to reality, we will begin to list the outcomes, that then will help you in your presentation, to council. All right. So going one by one, if we may, and obviously, you are already aware, and for those of you that are new to the commission, we are planning a tour of parks, facilities, and programs for the youth commission early next year. So as soon as a date is finalized, we'll let you know so that you'll plan for it. Ideally, it would be on a Saturday, and it'll be for a couple hours, and it should include lunch. So then that way, those of you that are interested and available can go on this tour to learn a little more of the agency and the city as a whole. And that's why everybody will be involved. But again, the timeline for that, we will say spring 2022. Is that okay? And that way, meaning by the start of spring 2022, this should be completed. So the next one, number 2 is commissioners attend city-sponsored events serving as city ambassadors by welcoming, meeting, and greeting the public, and serving in a volunteer capacity, conducting various event duties as needed. So as part of our meetings and as part of your packets, as well as additional communication that we provide you with, you'll be informed of as many city programs and activities, but most importantly, special events as possible, so that when available, you can attend these in your capacity as a commissioner, and again, serving that role as city ambassadors and assisting with that event or activity, to the best of your ability. So is everybody comfortable with that? And can we also say that all members will be involved in this outreach activity? Okay, nobody's objecting. So, and I see a couple of heads shaking with approval. All right. So, and this we're just going to say ongoing, because this will be year round. And what we'll be working towards on this will be also to then provide you with commission shirts, so that way you are also easily identified as a youth commissioner. So the staff team will work on this and provide you with those shirts as soon as possible. Okay. So now number 3, promote healthy options via a community garden program, via city's community garden program. That's understood. Again, would this involve all members or not?
How many? Because a lot of these ideas would be what is it? Like more handed off to, like, let's say 1 to maybe half of the commission. Oh, because I kind of assumed that all of this would be like, all the commission is working on this, like each idea.
No, well, again, you can either already just designate in essence a committee per se, or a small group of commissioners to take on this responsibility to work on any coordination and implementation. But obviously then everybody else can participate, once the actual activity is taking place. So for now, again, does any one or a couple of you desire to take lead on working on this, project?
I would.
Okay, so anybody else? No problem. I'm sure once, and if she needs help, she will request it. Okay, number 4. I'm sorry. On a timeline for promoting healthy options via city community garden programs. When would you want to start on this, Commissioner Sarmiento?
I'm thinking spring. That's when the community gardens would probably be in good shape.
You got it. Okay. And for this, I think for now we can say that fiscal impact should be none, because we're already using an existing resource, and we would want to tap into their funding also for whatever additional needs you may have. So none for now, but again, that can change if as we move along. Number 4, promoting shopping local or small business campaigns. Anybody?
I would like to be a part of that personally.
Okay, Weezar. All right. And when would you want to begin working on this?
This is the small business one, right?
Yes.
Or I think it could be year round.
Ongoing.
Yeah, it can.
Okay.
Yeah.
You got it.
May I also go with her?
I'm sorry.
May I also help her out?
Of course. And Mr. Relas, Commissioner Relas. Okay. Got it. Number 5, promote volunteer community service opportunities for youth.
Before we get into that, for the timeline, when is the latest that we can like decide when we want to start on these? Or because I believe it says at the bottom that we had to present the completed work plan to the city council, and what is it? I think you said by the end of the school year. You said.
Correct. Well, generally you would want to possibly plan for this presentation in July for sure, August at the latest.
Okay.
And again, only because some of you may be graduating this upcoming school year, and as such unfortunately you'd not be able to continue serving on the commission. So you want to make sure that you're included in this presentation to showcase your contribution and work on all of these projects. So and that's why I mentioned these may be ongoing, and let's say this just for an example, the promoting shopping local and small business campaigns. Well, that one we may not be able to accomplish it fully this year, but you'll be doing all of the work for it, and then maybe present on this project in 2023. So that's why you're prioritizing and you're trying to give yourselves some time and some room to work on all of these items. And but again, I would strongly recommend that you do kind of just take one at a time so that you're not overwhelmed and overworked. Okay.
All right, sounds good. But I would like to participate in this one, the item number 5.
Okay, so Chairperson Verdin.
I would like to participate in that one too.
On this one also?
Yes.
I would also like to participate in item number 5.
And I'm sorry, that's Commissioner Tucker, correct?
Yes.
Okay, and only because my
Commissioner Sarmiento, I would also like to participate.
Okay. So for this one, it sounds like maybe we should just list everybody. Are you comfortable with that, Commissioner Relas? Okay.
Yes.
So let's change it to all. Perfect. And so this one will also make it ongoing. And, again, maybe what you'll do as part of your presentation, rather than a completion report, you will provide a progress report, during the council meeting. So we can do that as well. Okay.
That would be ideal because I feel like for many of these, it's just going to be ongoing things because there's a difference between doing something one time and then having it ongoing. A lot of this is, which it's a lot, but like I think it would be beneficial to just have a progress report
Okay.
because we would complete at least one of each of these events probably by the time we had to present. So
right. Okay. So really quick in the interest of time, because I know we are somewhat limited on time today. For number 6, financial literacy workshops for youth. Anybody in particular want to take this task on?
I would like to take this.
Okay. And when would you want to complete this financial literacy workshops by?
Probably, it's gonna take a while because you gotta set it up and all. Probably, so honestly, I don't know. Probably,
For now, you can maybe say May 2022. That gives
Sure.
you more or less 5 to 6 months to work on it and implement it. Would that work?
Yeah.
Okay.
I would like to help with item 6.
And I'm sorry, I was typing, and that was Vice Chair Weezar?
Yes, I would like to help with that.
You got it.
Is this the item of, teaching people in high school for like future events for like life skills, I believe?
No, that's number 7. This one is primarily just focused on financial literacy. So budgeting, tax filing, savings, opening and managing, a bank account, that sort of financial literacy. Okay.
I'd also like to help with this.
Okay. Sure. All right. And again, we'll also leave that pending. All right. Number 7, personal development and tutoring programs.
I would like to help with item 7.
so will I.
Yes.
Okay, so that was Weezar and who else? I'm sorry.
Sarmiento.
And Verdine.
Okay.
Commissioner Cabrera, I would like to help with item 7 as well.
Cabrera. Excellent.
Make it all. Can you put my name too?
Okay, Commissioner Tucker, are you comfortable with that?
Yes.
Okay, so then we're gonna say all. Perfect. And so these personal development and tutoring programs, and again, we're looking at completion. So maybe this one we would look to, if I may recommend, that you look to having it completed by June of 2022. Is that okay?
Sounds good.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Number 8, identify funding sources to support homeless shelters, orphanages, and families in need.
I
I'd
would like
like
to help with
to
that.
take on this also.
Weezar?
Would everyone would like to do it, or does anyone not want to?
I would like to participate in this.
Okay.
So everybody comfortable with all? Okay. And so this one, again, do we want to make this one ongoing?
Ongoing.
Excellent. And
I'd like to
last,
make it ongoing also, but
I'm sorry.
I'd like to make it ongoing also, but specifically to each like time of year, I guess it is, since it's winter, maybe gloves, socks, and things to keep them warm, or if it's during summer, things to keep them, healthy, hydrated. It just depending on when it is.
And not a problem. And again, as I mentioned, once you do begin to work on this, then you can work out the details as to what it's going to look like and what it's going to offer, and most importantly, where the funding for these ideas will come from. Okay. Perfect. Okay, so for now, last but not least, develop youth arts program.
I would like to help with that.
I would also like to.
So it sounds like it's all. Commissioner Cabrera, are you okay with that?
Yeah.
Okay. And so this one also make it for now ongoing?
I've got a quick question about that. When do you happen to know when Art Walk is? Maybe we could time one of the events that happen, like one of the kind of showcases to coincide with that.
The art walks in downtown take place the first Saturday of each month.
Okay. Yeah, ongoing.
Okay.
Because a lot of people go to those, and it would just be more simple to time it with.
And that's part of, eventually the conversations we'll be having again, what's currently out there, how can we augment what's already happening, or how can we leverage, your ideas with, what already exists. The city also does have an arts commission that maybe you would want to meet with and learn a little more of what they're working on so that, you can collaborate with them on this, idea. So there'll be plenty of opportunities. But again, I cannot stress enough that this also is going to require a lot of work, so that's why, you want to maybe, really, as we begin to fully focus on working on this, you narrow it down to the first couple of priorities and start working on it either individually or as a commission, but yeah, not taking everything on and all at once, because it's going to be a lot of work. Not that it's impossible, not that it's not attainable, but it is a lot of work. So again, think of this as just the groundwork for a long-term vision. But you'll be providing updates, for anything that's been completed, as well as anything that you have going as part of your presentation to council each summer. Okay.
Real quickly, who's in charge of the art walks? The Arts Commission?
So the Arts Commission is part of the Community Development Agency for the city. At least they're responsible for staffing the Arts Commission. So we'll get you more information, or again, if you decide to make this one of your first priorities, one of the first things that we may want to do is ask the Arts Commission liaison to come and present at one of your future meetings so that you learn a little more about it, and then seeing how you can tie in your concepts and ideas, to what they may already be working on. Okay.
Yes, sounds good. Perfect.
Okay, so for now, the document seems to be relatively, complete. So unless there's any changes, can Chairperson Verdin request for a vote to approve the work plan as created at the moment?
Yes. Do we can the recording secretary please call for a vote?
Well, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, Chairperson Rodina would need approval, need a first and a second for the
okay.
approval of the recommendations to the Youth Commission work plan.
Okay, my bad.
I approve.
I also approve.
Okay, so I have a first with Commissioner Tucker, is that correct?
Yes.
And a
I
second,
second.
Commissioner Weezer. All right, this requires a roll call. Commissioner Cabrera,
I approve.
Commissioner Sarmiento,
I approve.
Commissioner Relis,
I approve.
Commissioner Tucker,
I approve.
Commissioner Weezer,
I approve.
Commissioner Verdin.
Yes.
So noted.
All right. So since okay.
And Commissioner Verdin, before you move on, I did want to make just a little comment. I know we have new commissioners for the Youth Commission, and I wanted to just remind everyone that you should have received a designation of beneficiary form when you when you were nominated and when you were sworn in. If you've had the chance and the opportunity to fill that out, that's great. If you haven't, please do so. If you don't know exactly what that is, please send me an email later on today or tomorrow, and then I can give you some more information on what that is.
All right. Since we're a little short on time, should we still go with commissioner comments?
Chairperson Verdin, yes, you may go ahead and proceed.
All right. Okay, next on the agenda are commissioner comments. This is a time for each commissioner to provide comments if you wish, but is not required. We will start with Commissioner Tucker.
I have no comments at the moment.
All right, moving on to Commissioner Cabrera.
I have no comments as of right now.
Commissioner Sarmiento.
No comments.
Commissioner Relas.
No comments.
Commissioner Wizar.
This is not, it's like a question. Would it be possible, I don't know if Commissioner Verdeen's okay with this, if me and her can be CC'd in emails regarding like people wanting to come in the meetings to talk, or like ideas that we're sending out, just so we're informed more? I don't know if it's possible, but I wanted to ask if we could be like CC'd, or at least like given flyers so we can like let other people know.
Commissioner Weiser, could you expand a little bit on that, just so I can have a clarification on that?
Like Vice Chairperson Verdeen and I could be CC'd in emails regarding like people wanting, or like given information prior of people wanting to come talk about like their program on the meeting, so we're informed ahead of what's happening.
I believe that's usually in our agenda if people are
Yep.
coming to present.
Oh, well, my bad. But like,
Not a problem, Chairperson and Vice Chairperson. Usually what we do is, just so you guys know, is that we do have email that is sent out to individuals who are interested in receiving the agenda for the Youth Commission. So there is an email that goes out to individuals as well. We don't necessarily copy, we do blind copy because we don't want to share everyone's email address due to personal decisions, and having some sort of making sure that they don't get anybody else sending them emails. But as far as anything else, as far as the agenda and wanting to have people knowing who's going to make a comment at the meeting, we usually don't get that type of information except the day of the meeting. So you would see them there in the waiting room. So, but if we definitely have someone that does submit some sort of email and they're not able to make it, we definitely would share that during the meeting.
okay, thank you. I wasn't sure about that.
Is that the end of your comment?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Okay, it is my turn for comments. I just wanted to say real quickly, thank you to everybody for collaborating on this. I'm really happy we have so many ideas. I also have a question for city staff. Is there any way that, because I know that there's certain rules about commissioners communicating with each other, especially as a group, because I feel like we would be a lot more productive if we were like, let's say in a group chat and just strictly only send what is it, like certain, like maybe an outline of each event, like those who are in charge of each event. Again, I'm not exactly sure the rules on that, since we could accidentally have a quorum and all those little logistics. I just wanted some clarification on that. Like, for example, if we just talk to each other on Instagram or something.
I'll go ahead and attempt to respond to that question. And Commissioner Verdin, the issue in terms of there being a possible conflict, with you all communicating is related to any action item that may come before you, or that it's already on the agenda. And action items mean something that you need to make a decision on, and that you all would then need to vote on. So and obviously that becomes an issue when there's what would constitute a quorum. So out of a commission of 7, a quorum is composed of 4 members. So when there's 4 or more of you, having a discussion on an action item, again, that's either on your current agenda or that you anticipate coming before you as part of a future agenda, then that's when there would be a conflict or an issue. As it relates to projects that you already discussed and approved, and that you begin to work on, and that you'll be providing updates during your meetings, then that should not be a problem or a conflict in terms of you communicating. But again, you can only do so on items you've already approved, and that you will be providing updates on in future meetings. Does that answer your question?
Yes, that sounds good. But other than that, I do not have any comments. Just I appreciate everybody's collaboration, and I'm looking forward to completing and starting. Well, first of all, starting all of the items on our work plan, and eventually seeing you guys in person. Thank you. I believe since that is the end of the meeting, with commissioner comments, the next special meeting will take place on Wednesday, January 5th, 2022. And are we clear to adjourn the meeting?
Chairperson Radin, all I will need from you is to say we are adjourning and state the time.
Perfect. Okay. Well, we are adjourned at 5:26 p.m. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you all.
Thank you all, and have a great holiday. Stay safe, and we'll see you in 2022.
You as well. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.